Today I'm here with a list of the 10 best JRPGs that are still exclusive to PlayStation consoles. Not a single one of them is on Nintendo, Xbox, Sega, Steam, etc. And we're about to find out the reasons why, so let's begin. Number 10, the Shadow Hearts Trilogy. No one should be surprised this criminally underrated trilogy is not only an exclusive to PlayStation, but also an exclusive specifically to the PS2. None of the games were ever ported to the PS3 or PS4 on a digital format. Hell, not even their predecessor Kudelka, which is still an exclusive to the PS1. Maybe when the spiritual successor Penny Blood releases one day, interest in this franchise will revive and someone will buy the rights to re-release them on modern platforms, because each game is owned by a different company. Of course, I can guarantee that if they are ever re-released or remastered, they will be heavily censored with politicized retranslations, because oh boy, these games will be so offensive for snowflake audiences. Which is perhaps the reason why they're still only available on PS2. I've covered them several times in this channel since I'm a diehard fan, so at this point you probably already know what they're about even if you haven't played them. But if you don't, well, in a nutshell, they're a trilogy of dark fantasy JRPGs, the first one having horror elements taking place 100 years ago in a fictionalized version of our real world back then. The first two games follow protagonist Yuri in an existential crisis with his inner demons. The third one had a new protagonist and it's kind of its own thing, barely connected to the first two. Gritty storytelling, but also including a lot of goofy humor and tons of fan service. And they're also known for having this judgment ring on their turn-based combat, where you need to click on the colored areas to make your attacks successful. So yeah, this is an awesome trilogy, but still exclusive to PlayStation. Number 9, Valkyria Chronicles 3. This one is a bit worrisome since it's not just an exclusive to PlayStation but also to Japan. Of course, it's been fan translated since forever, but no other country in the world received an official localization. I said worrisome ironically because the franchise is quite popular worldwide, especially the first game, what with it being available for most modern systems, as well as the fourth title. But 2 and 3 remain exclusive to PSP or digital on PS Vita. However, 3 stayed in Japan, as I mentioned about 10 seconds ago. This game takes place in the same universe as the others at the exact same time as the first installment, except here you play as the mysterious, uncredited Black Ops group of soldiers that did a lot of favors to the main army of the first two games. It's a bit more dark than the others, perhaps the darkest of the 4, but still with a wacky cast of characters and plenty of fan service. The gameplay is identical to its predecessors, a bit more similar to the second one, but with much better map design and mission objectives. This game is a masterpiece, strongly recommended, but still exclusive to PlayStation nowadays. Number 8, Tales of Xillia 2. For some bizarre reason, Namco just remastered the first game and jumped straight to Berseria, completely ignoring this one and Tales of Zestiria. I'm not surprised about Zestiria since it's a black sheep and considered as one of the worst Tales games, but Xillia 2? Well, sure, it wasn't as successful as the first game, but still, it wasn't a failure either or a black sheep. The plot is a direct sequel to Xillia, now following silent protagonist, or should I say semi-silent protagonist, Ludger. He makes a lot of decisions and says like 3 words in the entire game. This Tales is a bit dark, and with some balancing issues, as it is actually one of the hardest in the series. However, in my opinion, it has a more refined combat, with Ludger being able to switch between 3 different weapons mid-battle. The game's a masterpiece and an incredible follow-up. Refer to a video I did which I'll leave at the end to learn more about it. But as of today, this sequel is yet another exclusive to PlayStation, specifically to the PS3. Now, we have yet another Tales game exclusive to PlayStation, so let's move on. Number 7, Tales of Legendia. Legendia was considered a disappointment back when it came out, so Namco did its best to release other Tales games around the same time to make fans forget about it. That's why it became so underappreciated and criminally underrated. You already know it's still my favorite Tales game, but yeah, this Black Sheep still an exclusive to the PS2 with no digital re-release anywhere, no modern remaster in sight. And considering how Namco is nowadays with this IP, interested only in remastering newer Tales games instead of the old ones like they should, and also considering how the company feels about it, I seriously doubt we'll ever see a re-release of any kind of this overlooked gem. So yeah, as of the making of this video, Legendia is still a PlayStation exclusive, specifically to the PS2. What's it about? Well, I'll leave a review at the end of this video so you can watch it and learn all about it. Number 6. Xenogears. Xenogears at least was re-released on a digital format on PS3 and PSP many years ago, so you can still buy it for like $10 on PS3 and PS Vita if you don't want to emulate it, but it's never been re-released anywhere else or remastered. If you paid attention to what I said about the Shadow Hearts trilogy less than 5 minutes ago, you'll have your answer on why this will probably never get remastered. I mean, it's so damn offensive that they will have to rewrite the whole story and ruin it. In case you don't know what this game's about for some bizarre reason, well, it follows the sexy adventures of Faye in a dirty quest to establish a brothel and eventually create his own harem. Yeah, good plot. I forgot to mention he also suffers from psychological issues and there's a lot of religious references cause each girl comes from a different background. See, it will be censored as hell if it was ever remade or remastered. Any other Xeno games in the list? Oh, for sure! Number 5. Xenosaga Trilogy. All 3 episodes are still exclusive to the PlayStation 2. Namco never even bothered re-releasing them digitally on PS3, not even in Japan. Probably because they hate how successful Tetsuya Takahashi became when he left their company to join Nintendo. We all know that was the best decision ever, so Namco is still resentful of that, probably, and even pretended to ask the fans if they wanted a remaster of this trilogy. According to them, not enough interest was there. Well, once again, maybe it's for the best. Too many sexy girls, psychological themes, religious themes, and blood for Namco's modern, delicate fans. I mean it, I'm convinced Namco and most JRPG companies nowadays think they only have those types of fans. Follow the space adventures of the scientist Shion Uzuki and her masterpiece creation, the android Cosmos, in a never-ending war against the alien race called the Gnosis. No, sorry, this isn't about a brothel or a harem anymore. Anyway, there you have it! Xenosaga Trilogy exclusive still to the PlayStation 2. Number 4. Odin Sphere. This one is quite controversial. As you all know, not a single Vanillaware game has ever been released on Steam. Not even Unicorn Overlord, but that one was also released on Switch and Xbox, right? The remaster of Green Grimoire was also released on Switch, so why wasn't this? It's a mystery! It was originally released on PS2 to a commercial success for its overly gorgeous art and graphics, its intuitive 2D battle system, and its 5 protagonist feature with intricate storytelling. It's a masterpiece with Norse mythology as its lore, and an even bigger masterpiece was its remaster on PS3, PS4 and PS Vita called Yggdrasil. Yeah, remastered for nothing but PlayStation consoles, all of them back then. Why? Wouldn't they have made more money if at least a Switch release had been included? But no explanation has ever been given as to why. There has been speculation from fans and critics, but zero response from the company itself or its partner Atlus. It baffles me how this game was never put at least on Switch, let alone Steam. Dragon's Crown, which came afterwards, received the exact same treatment, by the way. Number 3. Suikoden V. An even more baffling situation is Suikoden V. Konami seems to hate it with a passion, as it was left totally discriminated out of the PS3. All the other main titles were released there, digitally, and are still available for purchase. Not 5. Again, no official reason exists, only fan speculation as to its PS2 exclusivity. I'm guessing it's the same as games like Tales of Legendia. The game didn't sell very well, not even in Japan, and left Konami seeking other venues with spin-offs after it. So maybe they thought it wasn't worth releasing this excellent masterpiece on any other platform? With the remasters of the first 2 games, which came out on March 2025, fans are hopeful that Konami will come to their senses and bring back the other 3, including this one. Suikoden V precedes those first 2 games by only 8 years in the Queendom of Falina and its surroundings. It's a long story, a slow burn, focusing on a prince raising an army against the evil Godwin family for, spoiler reasons. Massive game, excellent gameplay, combat, music, and the 3 battle mechanics like the others. But yeah, still a PlayStation exclusive nowadays. Number 2, the Growlanser series. Yeah, the entire Growlanser series is exclusive to PlayStation consoles. The first game is on PS1, digital on PS3 and PS Vita, and it was remastered on PSP. All versions stayed in Japan, but at least the PS1 version was fan-translated recently. 2 and 3 were released exclusively on PS2 and then compiled together as Growlanser Generations, but also only on PS2. 4 was a PS2 Japanese exclusive until its remaster on PSP, which Atlus themselves brought overseas. 5 was released on PS2, also localized by Atlus, and then got a re-release on PlayStation 3 digitally. Finally, the 6th entry stayed in Japan only on PS2, but a fan translation was released last year. So every single one of them is exclusive for PlayStation consoles, all following the quest of the chosen hero through multiple routes and endings, all with real-time strategy combat, intense gameplay, and a dating scene with the ladies. And I just did an entire video dedicated to the series, so let's move on. Number 1. Valkyrie Profile 2, Xillia. Strange how the first game got ported almost everywhere within PlayStation territories and not this one. I can't include the first one because, in case you didn't know, it was released worldwide for Android and iOS in 2018. So it's not a PlayStation exclusive anymore, but it isn't available in any other console, mind you. The sequel, which takes place before, during and after the events of the first game, and there's some kind of alternative universe involved, it wasn't. In fact, Square Enix never even bothered re-releasing it digitally on PS3 or PS4. And it's no black sheep, and it wasn't unsuccessful either. Positive reviews, good sales, and even a greatest hits version! How many JRPGs got the greatest hits treatment back in this era? And Square Enix never ported this anywhere? Could it be because of its deep learning curve reputation? It is a turn-based RPG, but one where you manually move your whole party around, avoiding the enemy's range to strike from a safe distance, and button mash your controller with a few combos per character. Man, never thought I'd explain the combat of this game in one long sentence, but I just did. Poor old Alicia here and her quest to materialize the Valkyrie Xillia so they can challenge Odin and bring peace to Midgard was completely abandoned. Locked up in the freaking basement, ladies and gentlemen! Check out this masterpiece when you can, but don't forget, it's a PS2 exclusive still nowadays. I had to include the Fate Extra duology here as honorable mention because as of the making of this video they're both still PSP exclusives, but a remake of the first one was announced 10,000 years ago, which apparently will be on all modern platforms. Apparently, yeah, apparently next year. Apparently, yeah. Thanks for watching.